And this is Julie Brecke, who is a candidate for County Clerk. Welcome, Julie. Thanks for participating in this process. And we're going to ask you to start with a 2-minute introduction as to why you are running for County Clerk and your qualifications.
Hi, my name is Julie Brecke, and I'm running for Coos County Clerk. I was born in Coos Bay and have lived most of my life in Coos County, leaving for just a short period of time. I went to Marshfield High School, I went to SWAC, and I also went to Eastern Oregon for my education degree, and then continued my education at Southern Oregon University. So I am very much an Oregon girl. I've spent the last 14 years working for the North Bend School District and have really enjoyed that experience and giving to the public through teaching. I saw the opening for Coos County Clerk, and I hadn't realized how much teaching actually parallels a lot of the roles that the clerk does. And so I decided to put my name in the hat. Coos County, as I said, is my home. I have an 11-year-old boy who I raise here, and we are avid outdoors people. We do a lot of hunting and fishing and hiking and biking, rafting and camping, and the list goes on. We love to be outside. We love to go to the beach with our dog. We have 2 horses. We spend a lot of time with them. And this county just means a lot to me, and the clerk's position is a very important role. It is important to have somebody in that role who is dedicated and hardworking and non-biased and who will uphold the integrity of the position. And I know that I can do that.
Describe the county clerk position as you understand it. What would you consider to be the primary aspect of this position and why?
Yeah, so the county clerk is one of those roles where a lot of people, when you tell them you're running for county clerk, they say, that's wonderful. What does the county clerk do? It's one of those roles that's kind of interesting because if it's running smoothly, it seems like no one knows about it. So that's a good thing. I guess if you don't know a whole lot about it, it's probably they're doing their job, right? So the county clerk they uphold records. They do marriages and deeds and real estate records. They are in charge of elections and making sure that there is a fair election process. And so a lot of what they do is, like I said, very similar to teaching because it has to do with being organized and a lot of data entry, some computer knowledge, a lot of multitasking and prioritizing tasks and things like that.
What do you see as this office's major goals for the coming term, and what resources are needed to meet them?
Yeah, so we're lucky to live in Oregon where they've been doing vote by mail for over 20 years, and they have the process down pretty well. In the county clerk's office, they do have to propose to the Secretary of State in January their plans for the year, and so that happens in January every year, and that's where I would start out. The goals, I think, for me would be to make sure that the community realizes the process, because I think that the more people know and the more transparency and clarity there is, then the more people feel at ease that the voting process runs smoothly. That seems to be the big concern with members of the community and across the country right now, is making sure that the voting process runs smoothly. And I believe that the more information we put out there, then the more we can put people at ease to let them know how well Oregon's process and Coos County's process is set up for voting.
Tell us about your experience of supervising others. Have you hired employees? Describe factors that you think are important when hiring someone.
So I have never directly hired someone. I've been on a lot of hiring committees and I've been on a lot of interview teams. And so I have gotten a lot of experience with that, working with the school district. I've also worked in professional learning communities, and I've been a leader in those. Now that I've been teaching, like I say, for 14 years, I get to help in that hiring process, and then also in when we have new hires that come in making sure that everything goes smoothly for them. So the second part to that question, I'm sorry, was?
Describe factors you think are important when hiring someone.
Yeah, so some of the things that are important when hiring someone is, of course, their job qualifications. Also, do they seem like they're going to be someone that is going to get along with everyone in the office and that we're going to want to work together with? You know, we spend a lot of our time at work, so knowing that you know, everyone's going to kind of work well together is important to me as well. That they, for this position, you know, are they task driven? Because it does require, especially during the election time, it does require a lot of long hours and hard work. So do they seem like there's somebody who's willing to put that time in? That they're able to prioritize their task and stay organized is also, because we have a lot of data to enter, and even when there's not an election going on, a lot of what the office is doing is updating data, updating DMV records, updating marriage license, updating where people live so that their documents can be sent to the right place. So making sure that the person who is being hired is going to be good with their computer skills and their organization is going to be really important.
The county clerk position is a nonpartisan elected position. How will you conduct elections in a nonpartisan manner with members of the public from all political parties?
Yeah, it is nonpartisan, and I think that's very important. I think it's important that everyone's vote gets counted. And the county clerk's office has a system that is already set up to make this happen. My job really is just to come in and uphold that. So I wouldn't be recreating anything. I would be showing up and sticking to the job and making sure that the job was done with the dignity of the position.
Do you have any suggestions as to how to ensure the continued integrity of our elections process?
You know, I think the first step for me would be to get in there and take a lot of it in before I start making a whole lot of suggestions. Like I say, I know that our process in Coos County and in Oregon is one that runs very smoothly. And at this point, I don't think that it needs to be messed with. I think that I need to get in there and take it all in and continue to run it in a fair and non-biased way.
How would you describe your management style?
Yeah, my management style, I would say, is I want everyone to enjoy coming to work. Like I said, we work more than we're at home with our families. So it's really important to me that everyone feels like it's a really fun place to be. I know that there are already 4 employees in the county clerk's office who have a lot of experience, and I believe that we can all learn from each other. So I look forward to that. My management style is more the idea that we all have something to bring to the table.
The county clerk is responsible for public records for the county, various permits and licenses, and maintaining a current voter registration roll, as well as conducting all elections. How would you maintain confidentiality and security for all the information you would work with?
Yeah, so as a teacher, that's something that I'm also required to do on a daily basis. I have a lot of confidential material that I have been responsible for, uh, and there's procedures for how to keep that confidential. And the biggest thing is to make sure that those procedures are clear and we understand what those are, and to stick to them. Like I say, as a county clerk, we're required to put in that information to the Secretary of State every year. And there's a plan that's put in motion, and we need to stick to that plan. And I think that is what's going to keep everything secure. I know that that there are some great videos actually that the League of Women Voters did with past County Clerk Deb Heller that I have been watching myself and posting to my webpage, because they teach me and the community so much about what that security looks like. And I think that a lot of people don't realize all the steps that are involved to make sure that the system stays very secure. And so setting up that process, or sticking to a process that's already been set up, and making sure that we know what that is and stick to it.
Oregon, and you already mentioned this earlier, but I'm just reading the questions the way they were drafted.
Yeah, that's great.
Oregon has been voting by mail for all elections exclusively since 1998. Recently in the media, there has been much controversy over how elections are conducted, and the vote by mail process has been scrutinized and is alleged to be a cause for voter fraud. How do you feel about this topic, and what is your definition of voter fraud?
Yeah, so I know that this has been a topic, and I know that there maybe has been issues with this in other states and other counties. Oregon, like I say, we have had this set up for a number of years. So we are fortunate to have the system running very smoothly. I know that the clerk's office works very closely with the U.S. Postal Service as well to make sure that the process goes off without any glitches. And I would say that there has not been any, they have not had any issues with it in this county. And like I said before, as long as we stick to the security plan, there shouldn't be any issues. So I don't foresee that being a problem, because Oregon has had years of doing vote by mail, and we've really got the system down.
How do you feel about conducting a marriage ceremony for same-sex couples?
It is my job to stick to whatever the law states, and it's not my position to determine or to even discuss my opinion on the issue. To tell you the truth, my opinions as a Coos County clerk really shouldn't matter. My job is to stick to the description of the job, and I don't get to weigh in on what my opinion is. If the law says something, then I need to stick with the law, and so I would do that. I would stick to whatever our voters have decided they want our laws to be, because as a Coos County clerk, I don't think that there is a place for my opinion.
In closing, please summarize for the public why you want to hold the position of county clerk and why the citizens of Coos County should cast their vote for you.
So the reason I would like to be your Coos County clerk is because I find it a very important job. I believe that I have the qualifications necessary to uphold the dignity and integrity of the position. I'm honest. I believe in transparency and clarity. I'm non-biased. I love this community. I was born and raised here, and I want to serve the community. I believe in an open door system, and I definitely would invite community members to come in and see that the system is very secure, and we are here to serve all of our people. And I know that I will do a wonderful job serving all of you. So I would appreciate your vote on May 18th during the primary. And if you would like more information about me, I do have a website, and you can go to electjuliebrecke.org to find out more. Thank you all for your time.